Hi, this is Todd Toback, and welcome to the second video in a four-part series on how to explode your cash buyers list. And before I get into the second method, I'm going to explain the why you should explode your cash buyers list and focus on this activity. All right. If you have no cash buyers list or only a few cash buyers, you are drastically limiting the amount of money that you can get for each one of your properties, right? You spend a lot of money, time, and energy buying properties or locking them up for below market value. And then you're in a hurry and are scrambling and are settling for less than the assignment fees that you deserve. And the reason for that is lack of competition. So if you're constantly building your cash buyers list using these four methods I'm going to show you in this four-part video series, okay, you are going to create some amazing competition and allow your properties to get bid up to the highest bidders. And that is the only way that you should be selling your properties, by the way, is on a bidding system, highest and best offer, who's going to close in 7 days, $5,000 non-refundable earnest money deposit, and is going to close on your terms. And that's how you should be selling all of your properties and making your buyers bid. All right. Very, very important. So that being said, I'm going to show you the second way to find cash buyers, and that is using direct mail, sending them a postcard, telling them to reach out to you. Now, in the next video, I talk a little bit more about the mail piece that we use to find cash buyers, but I'm first going to show you where to find the first group of cash buyers or people who have invested their money or gotten a loan, a hard money loan, to invest in an investment property. So go to the website, www.listsource.com, and you want to sign up for a free account. And go to Quick List, and you're going to go through some criteria here, right? First, it's going to ask you for your geography. So for me, I selected the entire county of San Diego because that's where I invest. If you're in another county, choose your county. Now, you can also niche this down even more. If you're brand new and you don't have a large budget to mail out to cash buyers, you can actually target the hottest cash buyer zip codes. And so what I'll do is I'll link to another video on how to find the best zip codes to mail to for cash buyers. And I'll link again on my website, nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com. Look for this blog post, and I will link to that actual video in the notes. All right. So you can mail the whole county, or you can niche it down to a few zip codes, right? Either way will work. Again, for me, I'm willing to waste a little bit of money on mail to expand my cash buyer list to as large as I can, because really the universe is not that large. And when we're sending out postcards, we're just talking about a few $100. So this is the criteria I add. Again, add your county. For me, go under property, right? You're going to click on this right here, and you want to add residential single-family residence, people who have bought SFRs, right? If you're doing condos and townhouses, you can also do that, all right? And then I also put in the last market sale date. So if you go under property, you can select that criteria, and that's the past 6 months. So we shoot for cash buyers or people who've bought investment properties with private financing within the past 6 months. And that's also going to limit the number. And then we also limit the price. Now, it's very important that you put a limit on the price here, especially a lower limit. The reason why we put a lower limit, nothing less than $20,000, is that many transactions will show up as basically investment transactions if they've deeded it over to a brother or a sister for $1. And there's a lot of those transactions. So we like to put a minimum dollar amount. And so if you see on my screen right now, if you're watching this, we put a minimum of $20,000 up to a maximum of $600,000, because that is our sweet spot, right? Anything above $600,000, we don't do a whole lot of business in. So we don't target cash buyers in that realm. All right. Now, going back, here's the last criteria that you want to consider. You want to check absentee owned. That means that people who have bought this property, they don't live there, right? This is an investment property or a vacation home. Now, once you pull this list, yes, you might run into people who've bought a second home, and that's no big deal, right? You're probably not going to be able to do business with them, but still you're going to find a lot of cash buyers and people who will buy your properties with private money financing or a hard money loan. Now, you got a choice here, all right? There's a selection here that says corporate owned properties. All right. And if you have a limited marketing budget, what I would do is I would target it only. All right. People who have only bought in the name of a corporation. You could pretty much guarantee that's an investor, right? It's people who buy a vacation home typically don't buy it in a corporation name, right? So now that has really shrunk my list from 1,700 to 473 people if you're watching this, if you're actually watching this video, right? But here's the disadvantage to this, is that there are many mom and pop investors who have not bought these houses in corporations, right? So you are eliminating those and you're only targeting people who have bought in corporations. So this is a choice. For me, I like to mail to the entire list, so I'll select no preference, right? It's going to add 1,000 people to this list. And so really this is going to cost me an extra $300 or $400 to mail the extra people. But in my experience, it's worth it to mail a little bit extra to get those extra names, those mom and pop investors who have not bought in the name of a corporation. Now, it's also important to realize that you could actually put a bigger filter on here for people who have bought with more equity. But again, this list is very, very small. I prefer to do the list without putting the equity filters. I found that, again, I'm going to get a higher quality buyer and more buyers who will call in to my mailers. Now, in the next video, part 3, I'm going to show you another source and another software that you can use to find cash buyers. So look out for that third video, and I'll also link to it below. And I also talk about the mail piece that I send out, all right? So look out for that video. Now, you can also click Purchase List, export it, send out a postcard that basically says, hey, I'm calling about the property that you just bought, right? Give me a call. I've got an urgent message for you. I've learned that from a buddy of mine who I'll talk about in the next video. But again, remember to be always building your buyers list. It's so important for a healthy business. Remember, those are your customers. Don't forget to be always growing them. If you're not building your buyers list, I promise you it's dying. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Head on over to my website right now, nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com, and get your free instant download of the No Limits Wholesaling Map. That's your massive action plan to get to your first or next wholesale deal and explode your business. And make sure you never miss an episode by heading over to iTunes and hitting the subscribe button. And if you love what you hear, please hit the rating and reviews button and leave a 5-star review for our podcast.